Hey guys, I'm Erik Peterson and I'm a men's dating and relationship coach for 𝕳𝕚𝕚𝕝𝕝 and today's attraction tips video is called Learn to Tell Women No. Now on the surface, telling a woman no is basically a no-brainer. Of course you're going to tell a woman no. But the truth is, most men have a very difficult time doing it in the moment. Now this is textbook nice guy behavior and pedestalizing the woman. Most men buy into the myth of happy wife, happy life, so they'll do whatever it takes to make sure there's no conflict and make the girl happy. Yes, it's true, the success of the relationship rests largely on the happiness of the woman. Women initiate over 75% of all breakups and divorce, and that figure doesn't include the women who have intentionally driven their man to break up or divorce her. Plus, men are largely insecure when it comes to women in relationships. So most are scared to death to risk losing her, even more so if she's the most attractive woman they've ever been with. In fact, the other day, one of my subscribers had a little issue with his girl throwing a temper tantrum over not getting her way, and she ended up blocking him. Now, understandably, he was concerned that this might be the end. He told one of his buddies about this, and his buddy said that he has to give in and submit to the hot ones because they're way too rare. Now, when he told me, I was like, oh my God, do not listen to your friend. Then I proceeded to tell him that her blocking him was most likely temporary and only because she was frustrated about not getting her way. I mean, most men do think like this, so if she's really that hot, I'm sure she's used to men caving into her wants and demands, essentially caving into her frame. Now, the thing that most men don't understand is this kind of behavior does not make women happy. I mean, perhaps it makes them happy in the moment since she gets what she wants initially, but overall, it does not make her happy. It's counterintuitive, but always caving into a woman's wants and demands does the opposite of making her happy, and it certainly does not raise or maintain her attraction. Now, I know this woman who was telling me about how in her family, she rules the roost. She's married and has a few kids, and her husband pretty much goes along with whatever she wants. Happy wife, happy life, right? She also sees him as a beta male. Those are her words. And her attraction for him has long since gone. She stays with him basically for the financial support and because of the children, which is also a terrible reason to stay, but that's a topic for another video. But my point is, this guy goes along with whatever she wants in order to keep her happy, and while she likes the idea of being the leader of the household, she has zero attraction for him and very little respect. I mean, there's other reasons for that as well, but that behavior is certainly a big part of her loss of attraction and respect for him. Now, of course, she doesn't believe me when I tell her this, since most of us, both men and women, are so conditioned to believe the happy wife, happy life myth. I've mentioned numerous times that most women often don't understand what they respond to emotionally, what gives them that gut level attraction for a man. I mean, what their heart wants and what their head wants can oftentimes be polar opposites. So in this attraction tips video, I'm going to be discussing why it's essential that you learn to tell women no once in a while and why it has such a big effect on their attraction. But if you guys need my personal help and you're interested in some private coaching, please head over to my website at 𝕳𝕚𝕚𝕝𝕝, click on the coaching tab, and there you'll see that I have several options for you to choose from. My coaching options include several phone coaching packages for my North American clients and several Zoom coaching packages for my clients outside North America. And I'll post the links to both my contact page and my coaching page in the description down below. Oh, and if you haven't noticed yet, I now have merch available below the video or by tapping on the store tab on my channel. And if you have any requests for particular kinds of merch, please let me know. Now, as I mentioned in past videos, I'm also a recovering nice guy. I used to do this shit all the time because I didn't want to disappoint her or anger her. I wanted to keep the peace and make her happy, like most guys. I mean, what man doesn't want his girl to be happy? But this isn't the way to do it. Like I mentioned, it's counterintuitive, but believe it or not, learning how to stand up for yourself, enforce your boundaries, and telling her no when it's required will actually make her happy. Of course, there's much more to it than just that, but it's certainly a big part of it. Women actually want you to stand up to them, to put your foot down and tell her no. It's attractive and masculine, and it's partly what makes them feel safe with you. Why? Because it conveys dominance and tells her that you're not going to let people push you around. No woman wants to be with a pushover, especially when you run into challenges or dangers as a couple in your relationship. I mean, she wants a strong, confident man who's going to step in and make things happen, who's going to make sure that his girl and his family are on the right path and they're protected. Now, I realize it sounds like a whole lot just for being able to tell women no, but with just about everything that you do or don't do, you're sending her a message. And women are very good at reading your actions and how you handle yourself. So it's not just about how you behave with women, but how you behave overall. This is why you have to actually do the work in building your value and your confidence and not just fake it. I mean, you can fake it for a little while as you're building yourself up. I mean, I'm sure you've heard the phrase, fake it till you make it, and that actually does work, but you can't rely on that long term. You're going to have to develop new habits and step outside your comfort zone. There's no way around it. If you're used to giving women whatever they want and never telling them no, then it's going to be a little scary when you begin to take a stand. You're going to be a little afraid of the conflicts that it may cause or that she might leave you. But you can't be afraid of that stuff. However, once you begin to do it, you'll notice that it's not so bad. And you actually get a loving, respectful woman out of it. Now, don't think that just because you put your foot down that women are just going to automatically roll over and accept it. I mean, she may, and if she doesn't, she probably will eventually, but expect her to push back a bit. Women are naturally rebellious, especially with the man in their life, if you guys haven't noticed yet. And just because you say it doesn't mean that she'll do it. But you have to stick to your guns regardless and not back down. There's also a good chance that she's testing you when she pushes back, testing you to see if you're being for real and testing you to see if you're going to stand your ground. Now, women know how good they are at manipulating men, so don't think that they're just going to roll over because you said so. They'll push back. They'll threaten you, they'll withhold sex, they'll throw temper tantrums. Really, they will use anything at their disposal to try to get you to back down so they could get their way. Now, I'm sure you could see that this is one of the many reasons why both your internal strength and your confidence has to be authentically rock solid. This is part of your frame and why it's so important to set the right frame from the get-go. Now, this is where it gets even trickier, because if you do take a stand and then you back down, not only will she lose both a little respect and attraction for you, more than usual, because you're caving into her frame, but the next time you try to take a stand, it will be twice as difficult, because now she knows that you'll back down if she handles it right and uses the right manipulation tactic. So she'll push back even harder this time. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that you tell her no every single time. If you do that, while she will respect you, she'll eventually deem you as too difficult and at some point leave you. The balance between telling her no and complying or compromising is much like the balance in other aspects of romantic relationships where you want to maintain her attraction. Now, if you're too compliant or compromising, like I mentioned before, she'll see you as not having much of a spine and you're a pushover, ultimately walking all over you. Now, if you're not compliant and compromising enough, well, I just said what will happen. You have to find a balance. Now, I would say similar to the chasing dynamic, at least a 60-40 split. And just like the chasing dynamic, I don't recommend that you keep score. Just be aware of how often you're compromising and how often you're telling her no. However, it's important to remember that every time that you comply or give in, her attraction and respect for you will drop just a smidge. It's what is accumulated over time. All of those yeses and nos is what's most important in the long run. Now, obviously, I can't say what you should say yes or no to, but as an example, if she's asking you to do her a favor or help her with something, just think of it this way. Is she perfectly capable of handling this herself on her own? If so, then it's typically best to say no, at least more often than not. Essentially, use your own judgment while being cognizant of whether or not you come across like a man or an insecure little boy who really just hopes the girl will continue to like him if he just does what she wants. So when you interact with your girl, or women in general, understand that oftentimes the word no gets their attention and can even excite them a bit, even if they don't make it well known. They may not say that it excites them with their words, but they'll show you with their actions in one way or another. But you don't want to worry so much about that. You're aiming for respect, which is a key ingredient when it comes to a woman's attraction for you. Women want a man who they look up to with respect and admiration. So, if you found this video helpful, or any of my videos helpful, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up and for you to share it with any of your friends and family. I'd also really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button down below and tick that little bell symbol next to it so you get real-time notifications of when I upload new videos. And in the description down below, not only will I have a link to both my contact page and my coaching page, but I also have numerous offers or links to attraction-related programs that may really interest you. But I also have a link to PayPal or my Bitcoin wallet address if you deem this video worthy of a donation. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.